It's your boy Codehova with Fly Combinator. We're pimping Swift, and we're going to talk about convenience and required initializers. All right. In the last video, I had a little fumble where I was trying to do a self init call. I was trying to do this initializer on the dope pusher a little different, but with the console debug messages, we were able to fix it. But anyways, how could we have not had that fumble? So if we look at this, hustler class, right? There's no difference in terms of stored properties on this hustler class and this dope pusher subclass. So what we could have done is we could have made this initializer where we give it the government name and the bank account. We could have made this a required initializer. So that means when you make it required, every subclass of hustler will need this exact same initializer in its curly braces. All right. So if we run this, it's going to say use the required modifier to override a required initializer. And it's talking about line 28. So I don't know why my numbers are wrong on my Xcode, but anyways, it's talking about this. It doesn't note overridden required initializer is here. So this is where it's talking about. So this needs to be changed to required. All right. So when we run that, it's all good. So when you put a required initializer in a class, any class that inherits from it will need to have that exact same initializer in its class declaration. What else do we want to talk about? We want to talk about convenience in initializers. So let's say we have multiple types of initializers. We could have as many initializers as you want, but I don't know why you would need so many. But there are times when we just want to create a convenience initializer. All right, so you just prepend init with the word convenience, and then we're going to give it some parameters. And just to show you that you don't always have to have an initializer where it's going to be like government name, like all the stored properties. You don't have to do it like that. What you could do is, because we know that the dope pusher, right, is of the type hustler, so why don't we just give it a hustler? So when we give it the hustler, what we're going to do is that convenience initializers require you to call a designated initializer within its same block of code. So this would be considered the designated initializer of the dope pusher class. So we would just call self.init government name, and the hustler has that, so it's just going to be hustler.government name, and bank, it's going to be hustler.bank. And if we run that, it's good. So let's just, so we know that Cassidy is a hustler. Let's create Cassidy dope pusher. And that's going to be dope pusher. And we're going to give it a hustler object, which is Cassidy. And if we run that, we'll have two dope pushers. But if we say to Cassidy.dopepusher.government name, Cassidy dope pusher dot bank, and then Cassidy dope pusher dot hustle, let's see what happens. So we have here Barry Reese, as we have here in this hustle object. Then we have 100,000, 100 racks, and when we run the hustle function, it's gonna run the hustle, the hustler's hustle, and also this overridden print statement of I'm just an average Joe minding my own business. Don't talk to me about any drugs. So that's just the required initializers again. So if we make an initializer required, any subclass will need to have the same initializer in their class as we do here. And we're calling the super's initializer because we have the same parameters. We have the same stored properties in the dope pusher as we do in the hustler. And when you have a convenience initializer, that's just an initializer where it's not your required one. It's not your designated initializer. It's something that you have to make your life easier. All right. And so in this case, we're putting in the superclass object. And with that superclass object instance, we're able to create our new subclass. All right. So convenience initializers have to use a designated initializer within its block of code. All right, yo. It's your boy Codehova, Fly Combinator. We're pimping Swift. Let's keep on going, get that bag, and man, live our life. You dig?